Hey, I have some cool stuff here. I know, right? Besides having kind of mainstream stuff like this 1848 Triple O, we just bought a few older Martins. So keep your eyes open. We put everything through the shop and we take whatever time it takes, but we have a pre-34 Martin and a 1958 Triple O 28 coming. But for today, I have this guitar, which is an 1865 style 2, and that's my sloppy handwriting. See, I did this. This was all professionally done for you in this video. So Martin Guitars has been around since 1833. By the Civil War, they'd been around, what, 40 years? This guitar was made the year the Civil War ended. So there's no electricity. There's certainly no gas automobiles. They were still 45 years away. Edison invented the light bulb in 1879. That things were much quieter back in that era. People didn't need big, large guitars, and the guitar was really, at this point in time, something that a young, educated debutante might play in the parlor. Thus the name parlor guitar is really meant for showing that you can read music. So these guitars aren't really loud. There wasn't steel string guitars really until the mid-1910s that strings came out. Steel strings became standard in all Martin guitars in 1926. Sorry for all the numbers, but this all adds up. These parlor guitars are really remarkably loud. There is a story during the Civil War of a guy during the Battle of Gettysburg that played songs and sung songs for the soldiers at night while the doctors were picking up bodies off the battlefield. That war lasted 3 nights. Each of those nights, as other armies marched forward, some guy sat, and they don't know whether it was Union, Southern, Northern, whatever. They just know that some guy sat and sang songs. That true story, to me, defines what we do as musicians. And this guitar is a piece of American history. First off, this 1865 guitar is book-matched Brazilian rosewood body. They made several models, okay? They made a 5, which was the smallest, and then they went to a 3, which was just above that, 3.5, 2, 2.5, up to a Model 1. This is a Model 2, which is generally speaking like a D28 is today. That's the model everybody generally gets. This is kind of the standard model. It's alpine spruce top. It has these old tuners. And you come in a little bit and you can see that. You can see those ivory buttons on there. You can see the headstock too. Now the headstocks are generally glued on. It's kind of an interesting thing, an interesting detail. But you can always tell old Martins, well, it's not necessarily always a Martin, but this ice cream cone heel, that is a hallmark of this era. And that changed about the time they started putting on serial numbers on the guitars. So this is a piece of Martin history, 1865 style 2. Now this has had some repairs to it. It's likely refinished. The neck is certainly refinished, but the tuners are original, and the tone of the guitar is remarkable. It's so feather light. Gaze on this guitar is looking at American history. This is just a fantastic Brazilian rosewood nylon string guitar. Of course, they were all nylon strings. So there you go. That's guitar 1 in 1865. Now we're going to take our Wayback Machine and move up to 1896. That is the first year Martin started adding serial numbers on the guitar. At first, we had this listed as an 1895. This is an 1896. The original block is in here. The original back and sides are still here. The original ivory binding and ivory heel cap, ivory, is on this guitar, and it is saved from the old guitar. We saw this guitar a few years ago. The top was so badly damaged it could not be saved. So the owner of this guitar sent it into Martin, and the factory, the Martin factory, rebuilt this as a 0028 with 45 appointments. So this is an original book-matched 125-year-old Brazilian rosewood, and you know Martin does VTS, the vintage tone system, where they bake the wood. This wood over 125 was baked au natural, right? It is old. New neck, and then the top is Adirondack spruce. It's all hide glue. This guitar is strung up for steel strings. Remember, there was no steel strings until 26, but this guitar, 1896, was rebuilt as a steel string guitar. So it has a maple bridge plate, just like it might in that time period. And what you get is a Brazilian rosewood sound, which is really brilliantly loud, old Brazilian rosewood that you could only dream about. Go Google, I want to buy a matched set of Brazilian rosewood to start building a guitar, and you'll see that is unobtainium right there. And then to think that the original binding is there, the original neck block is there, the original serial number. How do we know it's this date? Well, the original owner came to us with the guitar. We saw it in its pine box, and they call that a coffin case because it looks a lot like a coffin. Martin made the cases back then, and the case dated it. Also, the top had a stamp on the inside, and it was dated 1896, and it was signed by Martin. Now, the person that owns this guitar kept the top just to hang it as a memento, but this comes with this case right here, which is a newer case that fits it just fine, and then this the owner is keeping the top, and it comes with the old case. Now you'll notice here, have the camera come in top, that is a Style 45 headstock logo and done in beautiful abalone, and then a 42 level abalone pearl snowflakes. So a gorgeous neck, and it's done in an OM45 neck. So he ordered all the best stuff. He did not say, oh yeah, let's do that to save money. There was no saving money on this guitar. This is a custom-made guitar from Martin's custom shop based on the body, binding, and block of an original guitar. And now fantastic. So these are here for you. This is remarkably cheap considering it's Brazilian rosewood at only $4,500. Comes with a reissue case. This, being rebuilt and redone by Martin to Martin standards, is $16,000. And when you compare it to other Brazilian rosewood guitars, strikes me as also a great deal. So there you go. We're back to the 1800s, before electricity and cars, even before the iPhone. Really.